bin fast so rot wie mein Ding pink.
Who cares if my thighs are bigger than anyone else's? Everyone else has their own problems and they're too busy looking at themselves. Why would they look at you? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be filming a girls talk video. I have my friend Anne here with me.
Hi.
I'm trying to shift my channel more to lifestyle related stuff, so let me know what you think of those girl talks. Today we're gonna be talking about self-love and confidence. I asked you guys on Instagram and on YouTube to send me some questions and things I should we should be talking about. So we're gonna go over those and talk a little bit about our experience. I know that's a topic that a lot of people are struggling with.
I still do.
Yeah. Same. But you know, it's always good to have different perspectives, so I hope we can help you somehow. This is a safe space for everyone. Hope you feel comfortable with us. Okay, so we're just gonna dive right into it. So I was always a very shy person. I mean, I'm an introvert, and on top of that, I'm also very shy. And I've been like that my entire life, I would say. I never really wanted to have attention from others, so I was always trying to be nice to everyone. At some point I tried to express myself more with different hair colors and styles, so that's when I started to get comments on my looks and on my appearance.
Was it hard on you? Is it still something you worry about now?
I guess I got a lot better. I mean, obviously it's been a while. I've graduated high school 4 years ago. You know, when you've been made fun of in some areas in your life, it's still affecting you. For example, I got made fun of my looks. You know, people will call me oh my god, she's a witch, because I have a huge nose. I dye my hair red. My natural hair is very fluffy. I always got called a witch or emo. Why are you doing this? Why do you look like this? Are you not embarrassed and stuff like that? Because I used to wear eyeliner and it was not a thing back then. Now a lot of people dye their hair and wear a lot of makeup, but back then it was not a thing, especially not in my school. Even the teachers would low-key make comments about it. And then I remember this one guy, the first day I went to school after I dyed my complete head pink, I think. And then he was the first one from my class to see it, and he screamed throughout the whole hallway oh my god, what is that? What the fuck?
What is you?
He was oh no, you did. And I was why not?
I don't understand why people can't leave other people alone. Why does it matter if I do something to my hair or to my body however I want it? Why would you think you have the right to tell me if that's right or wrong?
I don't know either, because I never really said anything to anyone about their looks. I just didn't care, so I didn't understand why people would care about my looks. I guess now when somebody gives me a compliment, I'm always second guessing them. And I'm does this person really mean it?
I guess it comes from still being insecure. I feel when you are insecure or have been at some point in your life, it's kind of hard to switch it off like this. In her case, I guess, kind of still lingers in the back of her mind. Kind of puts down the compliments she is receiving. I guess she can't sincerely accept it.
Exactly, because when I was younger, people would give me compliments, but then they were oh, it was all a joke.
Oh.
I remember one time my crush, he told me I like you, and he tried to flirt with me, I don't know, and then after I said this was all a joke but you didn't catch on it, I was bless God I didn't, because imagine if I did, they would have made so much fun of me.
Man, wirklich?
Yeah.
Oh, das ist richtig gemein. The thing that sounds similar to that is usually relatives would always say you've gotten so pretty. Yeah. And then the next minute they would tell you, oh my god, you have gained a lot of weight. Yeah, they would add to your insecurities, but they won't be consistent with it. Bro, I don't need backhanded compliments.
Exactly. It kind of affected
you mentally.
Yeah, because you kind of develop trust issues with that.
Well, we are working on it.
So what was even the question?
We are sorry to the person who asked the question how we dealt with bullying. I personally never really received bullying. I feel you victimize yourself to a point where you can't get out of it and become unhappy yourself, or you put what they try to put you down with into your own weapon. Nee, ist nicht ganz richtig, ne? Ist nicht ganz richtig, ne? Ich weiß nicht, wie ich das sagen soll. Dass entweder so ist, dass man sein Leben lang so denkt, man ist ein Victim, was in einer gewisser Hinsicht ist es ja richtig so. Wenn du dich selbst als Victim siehst, kannst du nicht über dich hinaus wachsen. Und ich finde, wenn man in dem Part ist, muss man so sagen, so, aber was mache ich eigentlich falsch? Einfach das, wofür man gebullied wird, einfach embracen. Man wird trotzdem immer im Hinterkopf diese Wörter haben, aber wenn du das sozusagen zuerst aussprichst und gegen die schon verwendest, können sie es nicht gegen dich verwenden. Aber es ist hart.
Yeah. When people told me they don't like my hair color, like I literally didn't care. Like I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna dye it back because I truly liked it. But when people like made fun of my weight, because I was already insecure of my weight, it like affected me more. That was kind of like hitting right into my insecurity. Overcoming that to a certain degree is like changing your mindset about yourself and like kind of overcoming your insecurity, which is obviously hard.
When did you notice that you kind of started changing?
It's actually pretty hard. I don't remember it that much. I feel like
It just happened.
there's like a few things I did to overcome those bullies, I guess. I told my teachers obviously about it, but they did something about it and they said, yeah, just don't talk to her and you have to stay 1 meter apart from her. Teachers can't do much, I feel like, or at least in my school, they didn't do as much. Yeah, you know, those people were from like higher classes. From my class, they kind of like stopped at some point with their comments because they saw that it's going nowhere, because it didn't affect me when they told me my hair looks terrible because I liked the way it looked. So what I did is, people who still made fun of me in my class, I tried to be nice to them. Yeah, I know it's better said than done. Just don't show emotions, or that's what I did, at least in front of them. I started to like get better in school and get better grades, so I would help them with their homework. Sounds weird, right? But it worked, because after a while they were like, oh my god, she's actually a nice person.
The thing is, I don't know if I would actually say you should follow her lead, because you were kind of a pushover. You shouldn't just say yes to everything. Everyone deals with things differently, but were there some times where you felt like you bursted?
Yeah,
Obviously you held everything in.
Yeah.
Just so they wouldn't know that it affects you, but it did affect you.
I remember like one time I started crying in the schoolyard. It just all came up and I just couldn't hold my tears anymore. And I'm a person, I don't really cry that much, to be honest. But most of the time I kind of like hold it in and didn't show any more emotions, which is obviously bad. But honestly, when you're in the situation, you just wanted to stop. I can't tell you like a general solution because everyone deals with it in their own way. Depends on your situation. So sometimes you can just, like me, you can just ignore it. But sometimes I guess it's like too hard to ignore it.
Always try to seek help. Already said that she tried to ask her teacher. They didn't do much about it.
At least they did something.
Try to seek help with your parents.
Or your peers. Always see the hope and remember, school life is not forever.
Honestly, people kept on saying that when I was younger or like when I was in school, but honestly,
I was just like, oh my god, it's taking forever. Know that there will be an end. I'm not just saying that to like sound cheesy or anything, but it's just the truth. Like,
don't give in to the bullying. What they are saying doesn't define you at all.
You'll figure this out, okay?
Like, what kind of advice would you give your past self? What do you think you would do differently or would want to do differently?
That's a hard question, honestly. I don't know. I feel like I would tell my past self to surround herself with better people, because I used to have a lot of like friends who would even make fun of me, and I was just friends with them for the sake of having friends. A lot of people took advantage of me because I was like trying to be nice. The advice that I would just give is to work on your own insecurities. Work on yourself rather than work for somebody else.
Yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense. The moment I didn't believe those bullies, it wouldn't have affected me and they would stop. Okay, that's like hard.
It's a hard question,
Yeah.
honestly. I'm still not at a point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm super confident. Everything depends on like your surrounding. I got a lot of confidence when I got into university. Back in my school days, I wasn't bullied in any way. It's just that I am introverted and shy. I tend to not say much. I kind of develop insecurities on my own just because of my
same.
shyness.
Same.
I couldn't get out of my shell.
Is it also because you compare yourself to others?
I feel like that mindset came from my parents.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very common thing. Parents kind of compare you to like other children or even your siblings. It doesn't even matter how good you are, but they still kind of find ways to put you down in certain ways. Like at least that's what I kind of experienced. I still love my parents, and in a way their comments came from a place where they meant well. Typical Asian cliches and such.
I guess like most of our parents were also raised like that, but I also don't think it's their fault, obviously.
Yeah, of course not. But it's just something that
Affects you a lot.
Yeah.
Because these are like the first thoughts you're getting implemented into you.
if you keep on hearing comparisons between you and others, you start doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own problems. I can't even compare myself, like my achievements to their achievements. And if I just keep chasing the achievement others already have achieved, then I will never be satisfied or like happy with myself. If I keep comparing myself to others, I might never be really happy about myself.
Even if you compare yourself to other people, you never know what the person is like going through. This other person might have achieved something that you wanted, but you instead did something else. Obviously, it's different life paths, and you never know what this person is like struggling with. Let's take it like weight as an example. I always was very insecure of my weight. I was always like overweight and stuff, and I always compared myself to like the girls from my class who were very thin. I was always like, if I was just as skinny as them, then all my problems would be gone, because they don't have problems, because you know, guys like them, they're popular, they're pretty and stuff. I never realized that they have like their own insecurities. I guess like after some time you realize that other people have also problems when you talk to them, and they're like, yeah, I'm like insecure about my weight because I'm like too thin. And I never thought that something like that existed. Like, you could never be too thin, in my opinion. That's coming from like my old thoughts, okay? After that I realized, oh my god, these people were like struggling as well, and they would like even compare themselves to me and tell me like, oh my god, I wish I would look like you. And then I was like, what?
Everyone compares themselves to
Yeah.
others. We always put ourselves down. That's something we should stop. I obviously do it too. Like, start slowly. If you catch yourself doing it, even if you don't believe it in that moment, just say, no, I am good the way I am. Sometimes you just need to brainwash yourself to understand that you are fine the way you are. Everyone has some kind of aspect about them that someone else strives to have. Sometimes if I'm like in my slums, whatever, I'll just be like, no, I'm gonna be fine, like in tears basically. So I'm gonna be fine. I did this, I did this. It's not that bad. I can still handle it. Try not to overthink it too much.
Right.
Even though I'm the biggest overthinker ever.
Same. I realized like the more self-destructive thoughts you have, the more you think that it's your reality.
It's such a dumb thing to say. Try to think positively.
Yeah.
People lie to themselves all the time. Why don't you lie to yourself positively? You know?
Exactly.
We lie to ourselves, but like only about the bad things. So why don't you do it with the positive things?
And even if you're like insecure about something and you feel like this is like blocking you from reaching your full potential, most of the time it's not, honestly. What I always used to do when I was like insecure about my weight, I would always imagine myself being, you know, thin and having like this nice lifestyle, and I would say, oh my god, if I was thin, I would be able to wear crop tops, I would be able to go swimming without like thinking everyone is looking at me, be able to, you know, talk to guys. In my head I had like this projection of me, like skinny me. And then I would like imagine all these things that I would be doing if I was like skinny. The more I thought about it, I started doing those things, even though
you didn't achieve the
look that I wanted,
but the ideal look.
But because I thought about doing all of these things all the time, I slowly built my way up there, I guess. Most of the time, the thing you're insecure about, other people don't even notice. And it's not holding you back from anything at all. Who cares if my thighs are bigger than anyone else's? Everyone else has their own problems and they're too busy looking at themselves. Why would they look at you?
I am actually kind of envious. If I look at you, I'm like, oh, I wish I would be curvier, but if you...
Honestly, it's the same for me with you. I wish I was like thinner.
See, you always compare yourself to others. Don't let your insecurities hold you back. Feel comfortable in your own body. Don't try to achieve, for example, your ideal body weight through like unhealthy ways. Just try to work on it slowly. Everything you try to achieve doesn't happen overnight. If you already want to work on yourself, you will, even if it takes like years. Yeah, I still work on myself too.
Once you realize that everyone is like doing their own stuff, especially when you get older,
you start looking for
like genuine people.
Yeah.
They have the same aura as you.
We're getting spiritual today. I feel like I found like a lot of people through university. Before that, I feel like I didn't have many genuine friends. People who cared enough about me or I care enough about them. It just felt kind of a bit unfulfilling. I wasn't even aware of it until like I actually found my people.
That's also a point that I want to talk about, like cutting off people who are not serving you well, especially like toxic friends, because most of the time they will bring you down as well. They have their insecurities and they're kind of like projecting them onto you. I know it's hard to cut off toxic friendships because I have been in some and they have lasted for a long time. It's like slowly growing apart from each other. Doing it slowly. You don't have to do it like from the one day to the other. You don't have to block them. I did that. That was kind of mean, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, I had to do it, okay? I'm sorry. Distance yourself from the people that are not serving you and kind of surround yourself with people who are genuine. Even if you don't know people who are genuine, they will eventually find their way to you. Just use the time to work on yourself, I guess.
Maybe some people don't mean to you or rude to you. I think the first thing before you try to distance yourself, try to work it out. At least, like if it doesn't work, like some people are freaking stubborn and don't even see what they are doing to you. If you can't reach them by talking to them about it, then it's time to leave.
They're not gonna change if they are not willing to hear your opinion.
Exactly. Some people just say something, so you let go of the issue. They don't actually follow through what they said.
A lot of people are only like all talk, no action.
Actually see if they try to change or like try to be considerate of you. And obviously you have to be too, because friendship is a two-way street.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, or like any relationship is a two-way street.
To summarize everything, I guess we just discussed.
Everyone strives to have more confidence.
But you know, it's a journey.
Right.
And we're all going through it, depending on how big your insecurities are. You can always seek external help from like a therapist. You kind of have to like grow in your own way.
The negativity that gets thrown at you, don't get lost into it. It's easy to drown in them. Don't grasp onto negativity, grasp on the little positive things you tend to overlook.
There's always something that you can grasp on.
Grasp what? What do you want to grasp?
Hope. I don't know. Because when you're old, you're not gonna like look back at those days and tell yourself, oh my god, I wish I didn't wear a dress because I didn't like the way I looked in it. You're gonna like look at the memories you made. Honestly though, those things are not going to matter.
Those are just so minor in the long run that you shouldn't hold yourself back just because of those things.
And remember, everyone has their own insecurities. Just because you think someone is perfect doesn't mean that they actually are.
They probably struggle with their own problems in that very moment. It's human to be insecure.
I guess we're never gonna like 100% be confident.
There will always be like a tiny moment where you will have doubt in yourself. People tend to just
present themselves in the best way possible. You never know what's going on behind the scenes.
See the big picture and not just like the tiny details.
Remember, you are always loved. And thanks for joining our girl talk with all our plushies. And I hope we were able to kind of give you some advice.
We are still in our early 20s as well.
Doesn't look like we're in our early 20s. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah, thanks.
So, by the way, bitch, bye.
Yeah, bye. No. Thanks for being here. Yes, I hope I wasn't too awkward.
And I hope I wasn't too awkward too.
This is getting awkward. Anyway.
Our insecurities are showing.
No, we're perfect. Remember, you're a bad bee. You got this.
Cut the cameras!
Okay, bye.
This out.
Okay.